D-Stone's Arc Warden, Old Chicken Lone Druid, HYM Dark Willow. And then you've got Dolem on the Offlane Pangolier, XCJ on the Snapfire, Setsu mid on the OD, Monet back on the Morphling, Super on the Abaddon once again, September on the Nyx Assassin, and Flywin, which I need to stop calling him Flyby, on the Mars. So game 2 coming in between these two teams. RNG taking an easy game 1, so, you know, I wonder, even with some pretty scary heroes on the side of Team Sirius, if they'll be able to execute, and that really was the question in the previous game. Can Sirius execute? And that is something that they really lacked in game 1, was not only, you know, their laning phase wasn't that great, but their execution seemed very lackluster. So, get this game on the way. RNG on the Dire side, Sirius on the Radiant side. Anybody setting up here for first blood? Potentially here, up top. With both the Dark Willow as well as the Snapfire could go and grab a kill. Who's going to shift over for Monet? I assume it'll be Super who goes up there again.
The battle begins.
So 2 bounty runes for RNG, 2 bounty runes here for Sirius, 2 and 2, which has pretty much been the case more often than not these days. I feel like we rarely see 3-1s anymore. But there wasn't really any aggression going for bounty runes. HYM will be up here with Dolem up against Super and Monet. And it will be level 1 into the Bramble Maze. So, Bramble Maze early on, just trying to harass with that. Dolem as well going into the Swashbuckle, so a lot of damage to deal quickly here on Monet if given the opportunity to do so. Super's got the Aphotic Shield. He'll run at these heroes. Try to have that pop and deal some damage there. Actually backs off and doesn't put any damage on with that second Aphotic Shield. But both these heroes sitting just over half health. No more mana for Abaddon before the Mangoes. Now Monet shifting into that Agi, now over into the Strength a little bit. Avoids the Bramble Maze. So some mana wasted there on the Dark Willow. Does have a Mango and a Clarity to work with. Let's take a look elsewhere. Let's go over towards mid. D-Stone's up against Setsu. Got the 7 and 2 to the 6 and 1 of this Arc Warden. See how Setsu could do up against this Arc Warden early on. And it was D-Stones who got ganked a couple times mid. And that was with rotations over from September. He came over with a Shadow Shaman in the previous game. We'll see if he tries to make his way over, you know, early and often in this game with the Nyx Assassin. Bramble Maze spawns on a Super, but he's got the Aphotic Shield. They'll go after Dolem. They're trying to chase. Monet now changes his attention over on HYM. They do a good chunk of damage, but it's only a level 1 Aphotic Shield that probably doesn't get the kill there on the Dark Willow. But no health regen for the Dark Willow. Has the passive regen with the headdress, but no salve, no tango. Look over at Flywin. Going Soul Ring early. Trying to throw as many God's Rebukes and Spears as possible. Gets one early level into the Bulwark. Goes into that 1-1-1 build to start this off. He's 13-2. He's doing a good job. Over mid, it's even so far. Rotation for a second thought about by HYM. This time, Setsu's the one with the ward. And it will send the Dark Will back towards the lane. Dolem gets low over towards top. He backs off for a moment. He's getting a salve shipped out to him. Needs to be careful about his positioning on this. While he waits for that salve to be ferried out to him. And now the Soul Ring that is all the way delivered for Flywin. And finally coming back around is HYM. Setsu goes for the TP, but Bramble Maze on top of him. And should be first blood for Sirius. Super again coming over, but a little bit late. And unable to get the Aphotic Shield out onto the OD. This ends up with first blood coming through for the side of Sirius and 4 D-Stones. So that was probably the best move that's been made by Sirius all series, but they didn't really have a chance to do anything too exciting in the first game. Into the Shadow Realm. Little Chicken losing his courier. That goes down to September. Flyby now with 2 into the spear. He's got that Soul Ring to work with. Now they look over at Old Chicken. Can he land the Impale? He's holding it for now. Body blocks come in. He still has the Soul Ring to work with and throw a spear, but a miss from September. Meanwhile, Dolem goes down top. HYM taking some damage as well. Bramble Maze was already committed to this. Super making his walk all the way back towards top. Have the Aphotic Shield out on Setsu. It's a 1-1 game so far with a little bit of a net worth lead right now for Sirius, but that's a solo kill there for Monet on the Dolem, which is not what you want to be giving up here to this Morphling. Fire Snap Cookie onto the bear, stuns up Flywin. Now the Scatter Blast slows him. They're just hoping to get a root out onto the Mars, and they do! That was some interesting melee range on that. But ultimately they do grab the root. I'll resummon the bear. Bramble Maze down. Shadow Realm Strike on the Super. Aphotic Shield just survives, but needs to be careful of those Spark Wraiths. Still running in HYM. We'll have Bramble Maze in just 6 seconds. Super bringing both D-Stones and HYM on an adventure that he is free from. Bit of a surprise. They let him go. So level 6 here for Arc Warden. He's got that Tempest double to work with. About a third of a level away here for Setsu to get to level 6. Mars sitting at level 5 compared to the Pangolier, still just at level 4, but it's not much of an experience difference between the two offlaners.
Give me more.
And in terms of safe laners, Monet 40 and 18. Take a look at the net worth early on, and it is the lead here for the Morphling thus far. They're going to go for Flywin. Got the Snapfire Cookie once again. Root comes through. Bramble Maze down. Bulwark popped. Flywin gets the God's Rebuke out, but he ends up dead. September makes the rotation. Nothing to be had here for them. All the while, though, and yes, they are continuing to go after this Mars and get a couple kills on him. It's a net worth lead of about 1,000 here for Royal Never Give Up. And that is, you know, the Mars doing that much better despite the 2 deaths. That much better than the Pangolier. So early kills are good here for Sirius, but see if they can pull back this net worth advantage that's there for the side of Royal Never Give Up. Super only getting into level 4. But ahead of the Dark Willow, who I believe is in the 5 position. Thought maybe the Sapphire would be in the 5. So after this Morbid Mask, we saw the first game from Monet into the E-Blade, so now it's RNG's mission to just make sure that Monet survives and Monet is able to farm. September coming around, but HYM on the high ground, Cursed Crown, that will pop, but the Impale with the Fire Snap Cookie coming in, Bramble Maze walks into it, Spike Carapace stuns up this Dark Willow, Super coming over as is Flywind. When they get the kill on HYM, they're dragging 3 heroes over. They finally get the Impale. They'll have the Spear of the God's Rebuke and the last shot there for the Mars. And they will now be up 2,000 net worth. And that's the Mars getting a kill for himself as continually the Pangolier is just shut down. Monet working on this tier 1 tower. Gets disarmed. The adaptive strike comes through onto Dilem, so continually being forced back. Spear flies through, as does the God's Rebuke. Hoping to get a root out as teleports are coming through from the Arc Warden as well as the Dark Willow. Super, yeah, I don't know about that one. Purges off the Cursed Crown, but the Bramble Maze is there with the Scatter Blast. Super on the run. Spark Wraith will get onto Super with the Shadow Realm Strike. Another Spark Wraith won't. Super survives in a spot that almost looked like certain death.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So there's the Mask of Madness on the bear. Now time for Sirius to try and put some pressure onto the RNG lineup. And they continue to farm up really well. 10 minutes in. 3,000 net worth lead. The OD going straight into the Ags. So Setsu going straight Ags. I think last time we saw an OD, I think it was Blink Ags, but this time Ags first. I don't really see an issue with that. I have the double banish. Not really a bloodbath by any means.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Bottom. Arena out. They get the kill there on XCJ. September getting credit for that one with the Impale, so they will get the kill there. Dilem forced all the way back to base once again. This might be one of the sadder games for Pangolier. Still sitting here, just 2,600 net worth. The Arc Warden, too. You know, he was ahead in levels. Seemed like he was doing all right. And he's only got 4,000 net worth. He's behind the Mars. I didn't realize how far back the Arc Warden was in terms of net worth. They'll go for the tier 1 tower over bottom here for Sirius. Spike Carapace used on the bear. And Monet coming in to get some juicy gold, potentially. He'll just get a new bear. Sets you almost stationary in this lane for the most part.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Now extending into a 5,000 net worth lead here for the side of RNG. Super trying to get to that level 6, have that borrowed time. He's going heavy into the Aphotic Shield. We'll see if he goes borrowed time at 6, should be. You know, I think he did, and then went level 7 into the Aphotic Shield. I just missed that 6-7 transition, so. Setsu now
Dire's middle
1,500
tower
gold
is
away
under
from
attack.
having this Ags. You continue to watch as Flywin, he farms up, has himself that hood. Royal Jelly, I believe, was picked up there by the Dark Will. Snapfire Cookie, or Fire Snap Cookie coming out onto the bear that hits this Mars. XCJ, what is that positioning? That is way too deep. Now they've got the arena. Terrorize comes through. That'll send them back, but the rest of the team is showing up to this one. And now they'll find the Impale. It doesn't matter if you're in the Shadow Realm or the Life of the Living. You are stunned and in a lot of trouble. Get the kill there onto the Dark Will. They look for this Lone Druid under the Tier 1 tower. Monet, he summoned his own bear. It's got no items, but he had a bear. Oh, God. Rolling Thunder comes in. That'll hit onto Flywin. He's got the Bulwark active, and now with the Root on him, he might be in trouble. D-Stone's putting in some good damage, as well as the Bear and the Lone Druid behind him. The God's Rebuke is used. Dolem gets the kill, and now it's time for Royal Never Give Up to turn
Dire's
10.
middle tower is under attack.
So all the while, Setsu continuing to farm up this Ags. Hasn't been touched. Sits second on the net worth. Morphling, he's got that Eagle Song, and now going into the Ghost Scepter. He's not too far away from that either, and they're going to hit these timings where they get the E-Blade as well as the Ags at about the same time.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So, just extending this big net worth lead here.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Come over towards bottom. Oh, the mini Ravage! September with the 3-man Impale. 2 will leave. 1 won't. XCJ drops to Flywin. Good job there by the Nyx Assassin of September, getting that stun in, but here comes the side of Sirius to try and go after this Morphling. The damage just doesn't really feel like it's doing much. Monet waveforms away. They've got themselves the Curse Crown as well as the Bandolum on top of September. They get a Nyx, but they send everybody here to get more. Sirius forgot their shopping list. They only came home with Nyx. We asked for Morphling, but Mom said we have Morphling at home. HYM into the Shadow Realm. Super moving forward, looking for the Terrorize. That hits on 2. Tempest Double comes out. D-Stone's Tempest Double not long for this world. Bear gets hit with the Astral Imprisonment. Setsu forward with this Ags, and here comes the Mortimer's Kisses, but Monet onto the backlines looks over at XCJ. They've got the Cursed Crown. Fire Snap Cookie doesn't land. Aphotic Shield is there to purge off the Cursed Crown. They'll pop the Borrowed Time. This is a long, worn-out fight that RNG have, well, been ready for. They drop down the Sanities. They get D-Stones and Old Chicken with a 1-2 punch. And all of a sudden, it's an 8,000 net worth lead here for Royal Never Give Up, with Flyby continuing to try and find maybe a +1. Waveform forward from Monet. They won't get XCJ or Dolem, but they do get the 2 top cores here for the side of Team Sirius. And they can't be upset with that. So a 9,000 net worth lead, not with much fighting, but instead with great laning and great farming so far from Royal Never Give Up. They have really dominated the lanes and spiraled out of control into quite a huge advantage. Dolem comes over, super ready to just be the sponge of all the damage that Pangolier is trying to throw the Dyer's way. Claw picked up for Monet. So he's going into the Manta style, has Yasha being delivered. Tempest Double trying to defend the tier 1 tower. September up towards top. And 3 heroes on the Dire side towards bottom with Setsu in their own jungle on the bottom end. So they get rid of the Tempest Double. They'll go after this tier 1 tower, take it out with ease, extend the lead upwards of 11,000. Things getting shakier and shakier to the foundation of this serious lineup. Etherwind's now here for the OD. And they're still continuing to move forward and pressure this bottom lane. And they've got September nearby. They'll get themselves the Vendetta strike as well as the Impale coming through onto the Dark Willow. And now Dark Willow, what can he do? Cursed Crown is out. Spike Carapace was already used. And now they'll go after the Tempest Double with D-Stone doing a lot of damage here onto the Mars. They've got themselves the Terrorize that comes out on a lot of these heroes with the Mortimer's Kisses flying in. The Fear is hitting through on the Nyx Assassin. They don't get the kill on a flyby. And now the Tempest Double as well as the Dark Willow are locked into this arena of blood. You look over at the Nyx Assassin taking a lot of damage here from Dilemma as well as D-Stones. The Sanity's Clips gets dropped. XCJ is dead. Flyby's gone as well as the Nyx Assassin of September. They've got Super in a bit of trouble. Pops the borrowed time. Monet comes in heavy into the Agi. Now looks to get the kill here onto D-Stones. They take out Setsu though. Back into the fight is HYM. Oh, Chicken is gone. Dolem trying to survive with the Bedlam on top of Super. They get the kill and now they look over Monet. But Monet is ripping through these Radiant heroes. The Swashbuckle away. They've got the disarm, but now they're turned into the Pangolier thinking about going in. But, well, XCJ is back and 3 heroes are here for Team Sirius. Oh, Jesus. Shotgun build there. Give him the old Scarface.
I must have them all.
Regeneration!
Balance the scale.
Things not really going well here for the side of Team Sirius. Maelstrom into the BKB, and Bear going MKB. Spike Carapace got used. Bedlam comes down from HYM. Wing Dagger finished off for the Mars. Got the stun out onto the Arc Warden. Now the Astro Imprisonment. They'll look for the Terrorize. It's a complete whiff. D-Stone's locked up again. XCJ dead off screen is Super. They've locked up D-Stones long enough. The Tempest Double comes out, but that's going to be feeding more gold the way of RNG. Meanwhile, the Rolling Thunder coming through over the cliff, he'll go. Lemnen with the Swashbuckle onto the low ground. So some good movement there from the Pangolier, but you lose 2 and potentially more. Photic Shield allowing Monet to dive well into the base. The shotgun comes through again, killing off this Dark Willow this time. Grab the tier 2 tower over mid. RNG potentially looking to finish off this game. Really feels like Sirius are only throwing wet noodles at RNG down this much this early. They get the glyph out. They'll continue to hold tall. Or stand tall. KB finished for the Lone Druid, but look at where this Astro Imprisonment is coming from. Tempest Double really can't do anything. There's the Bramble Maze as well as Cursed Crown. They'll swashbuckle forward. They'll try to go in on a Flywin. They've got the root coming in from the bear, but there's the Impel that hits onto the Lone Druid. They'll put the Mortimer's Kisses elsewhere as they've asked to imprison Flywin, and now it's time for the Dire to really make a move. They've got the Arena. That comes through as well as the Sanity's Eclipse. Setsu with the double kill. D-Stone, Dolama, and everybody falling. A 2-0 here for RNG to eliminate Sirius in the first round of the lower bracket.
Radiant's middle tower RNG. Victory.
So now RNG will go up against Vici in the next series. That'll be at you coming up hopefully sooner than an hour in between games. Not really Sirius showing up at all. 2, 3, and 5 for Old Chicken. 3, 4, and 4 for D-Stones. 0, 7, and 6 there for XCJ. 11, 0, and 2 for Monet. Did really well. Setsu 4, 2, and 6. Sitting second on the net worth this time instead of first. But a good warm-up there for Royal Never Give Up to now move on to go up against Vici. So they'll be up against Vici Gaming coming up next at you. As we take a look at this graph, it should just show a wire-to-wire win, as it does. And I hope you guys are ready for one more BO3. So that'll be coming up next. Vici Gaming up against Royal Never Give Up. Coming up relatively soon, hopefully. So we'll be back with that in just a moment. Stay right there. Oh, I'm your caster BCop at BCop92. Follow me to know when I'm casting. Now we'll be right back.